In this video, we're going to take a look at how to install the Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central. This is an on-prem version, but the code base is the same as the SaaS version. So we've already loaded Microsoft Windows Server 2019, and we've downloaded the zip file, which I'm just going to move to the desktop for easy. And then what we're going to do is we're going to extract the entire desktop, an entire zip file, to a folder on the desktop. Once the zip file is unzipped into a directory, just scroll down until you find the setup and double click it. Answer yes. And then you'll get the installation screen. Just click next. You'll have to accept the license terms. And what you want to do, you don't want to do this one or this one. You want to do advanced installation options. You can do install demo, or you can choose another installation option. Be sure to install the client. The easiest way to do this is just to install demo and answer yes. Tells you need Outlook, but you don't have to have it. You just won't get those features installed. So it will install all the prerequisites. After the installation finishes, you'll see this screen. If you have any errors or problems, go ahead and click the link to see the error list or the error log. And you remember when it first started out, the installer warned us that we didn't have a Outlook installed, so we wouldn't get those features. And of course, we've got an error with the installation of the add-in. So we'll close that and close the directory, and now you'll find that you've got some more icons that have been installed. Once the installation completes, you may want to give the system a few minutes. There are a couple of services that install that have to start. We'll look at those in just a second. Once you've given it a second, then you can click on this, the Business Central web client, which is the only available client in versions after the spring 2019 release, and it will come up in a web browser. I'm using Internet Explorer because it's what 2019 installs. The performance tip that comes up says don't use Internet Explorer, you'll get better performance on other things. So once this comes up, you'll see I get Cronus USA, and this is in another foreign currency. But just a couple of things you might want to notice about the system. You have menus across the top in sales, purchasing, inventory, so on and so forth. You can also search for something like if you want to know how to do a journal entry, or you want to find a journal. And then here you can do a show all, and you can see all the different kind of journals there are. Let's say we want a general journal. In the sample version, you'll be able to access all of the areas of the product. You'll be limited to posting transactions in the last 2 months of the calendar year and the first 2 months. So November, December, January, February, and you are limited to somewhere around 7,000 transactions. So if I try to post this like let's do 0404. It's outside the interval for the license file. So if I go back to a January date, then that'll work. The other thing you might want to look at here is if you go to this icon, it's normally a menu icon, click it, and then go to Explore All. You'll get a menu that is an exploding menu that's organized by the different areas of the program: finance, human resources, management, service, warehouse, sales, and marketing, such as that. And this is also organized by areas that may make it easier to find what you're doing. So for example, in manufacturing, if you go to planning, you got production forecasts and so on and so forth. So you might want to look at that. Another thing I want to show you here is if you go to My Settings, you can choose your role, and you have a list of a number of different roles. But for example, let me close out of here, and we'll go back to the main screen that comes up when you start the system. And now if I change my settings from sales order processor to, say, business manager, you'll notice that this home screen changes to give me links and functions and data that's more appropriate for that particular role. So you might want to explore the different roles, and that's the way you do that. Other than that, if you click the link in the description of this video, it'll take you to the Calendly screen, and you can set up an appointment if you have questions, or you can click another link and go to a Q&A forum that we have. If you'd like to see the online demo, like the SaaS version of this, let us know, and we do have that set up. There's a link down there to set up the SaaS version as well. Thank you. I'm Bob Palmer from Data Guidance Group, and you can reach me at 901-452-4585, extension 118, or bobp@dgginc.com, and we'll put those on the screen for you. We're sticking this at the end because it's for technical folks. If you have trouble accessing Dynamics NAV from the link here, if you get an error message when you try that link, then this is some information that might be helpful to your technical folks. You need to check to make sure that two services are started. The first one is SQL Server, which needs to be started. The second service that should be started is Dynamics 365 Business Central. This, notice, is a delayed start service. So when the system finishes the update, it will take a few minutes for this service to start, and this service will not start if the SQL Server service didn't start. The second thing you might want to look at if you're a technical person is the event viewer. There are certain items, for example, if you have an existing SQL Server loaded on the system, that you'll see information in the application log that might tell you, for example, that the Business Central server could not log into your SQL Server. So you want to check that as well.